I lost everything to addiction. My career, my relationships, my sense of worth. I lived on the streets, cold, hungry, invisible. For years I was just a ghost moving through alleyways and shelters, ruled by an addiction I couldn't control. But from the absolute bottom, where I thought my story would end, something shifted. And I began to fight. Today I own a multi-million-dollar company helping people recover from addiction, the very thing that almost destroyed me. This is my story of breaking, rebuilding, and building something bigger than myself. Welcome back to Narrated by Abi, the channel that brings you real stories of resilience, redemption, and the strength it takes to rise after falling hard. Today's story is one of transformation. It's raw, it's painful, but it's also proof that even from the darkest corners, people can rebuild, and not just survive, but thrive. If you or someone you love has faced addiction, this story is a reminder. Recovery is not only possible, it can be powerful. So grab a tissue, hit that like button, and subscribe for more true stories that prove the human spirit can rise from anything. Addiction doesn't show up wearing horns and fangs. It comes dressed like comfort. For me, it started with a prescription. Something small to take the edge off stress, then a little more to sleep, a drink to cope, a high to forget. What started as escape became dependency. Then, obsession. My spiral was slow, then sudden. I lost my job. My friends stopped calling. My apartment was gone within 6 months. At first I couch surfed, then it was shelters. Eventually, just the street. I remember one night, sleeping behind a dumpster. I hadn't eaten in 2 days. My shoes were duct taped together. And I remember thinking, this isn't real. This isn't who I am. But it was. It had become my life. People looked through me, crossed the street. I didn't blame them. I hated who I'd become. I stole, I lied, I hurt people who loved me. But worse, I stopped believing I deserved anything better. I'd walk into fast food places just to use the bathroom sink as a shower. Some nights I'd press my ear to a stranger's apartment wall just to feel less alone. Addiction turned me into a shadow, and I truly believed I was beyond help. It was winter. One of those nights where the cold cuts straight to the bone. I was curled up in a doorway, teeth chattering, hungry and exhausted. That's when she appeared. A woman in a knit hat, a volunteer from the soup kitchen a block away. She bent down, not with pity, but with presence. She handed me a cup of hot soup and said, "I see you." 3 words. I see you. I cried harder than I'd cried in years, not because of the soup, but because I felt human for the first time in a long time. That night, I followed her to the kitchen. I ate, I sat by the heater, and for the first time in years I let someone talk to me about help. Real help. I didn't say yes that night, or the next. But I went back, again and again, and finally I said it, I want to live. I checked into a rehab center 2 weeks later. My first night there I shook so hard they had to wrap me in blankets. I hated every second of it. The detox, the group sessions, the mirror, but I stayed. And I relapsed. Twice. But I stayed. Recovery wasn't a straight line, it was a maze. Some days I wanted to disappear. But something kept me going. That woman's kindness, that first soup, that moment of being seen. I began journaling. I reconnected with my mom, cautiously. I attended every AA meeting I could. Slowly the fog began to lift. My skin cleared. I started eating real meals. I started looking people in the eye again. I got a job at a gas station, minimum wage. But I was proud. I saved every penny. My first paycheck, I bought new shoes. The second, I used flip phone. I walked everywhere. I listened to podcasts. I read books on entrepreneurship during my breaks. And I kept volunteering at the same soup kitchen that saved my life. While volunteering, I noticed something. People needed more than meals. They needed resources, support, housing, jobs, a system built on empathy, not shame. I started small, leading a support group out of the church basement. Then I started writing grants, asking for donations. My mom helped me file the paperwork to register a nonprofit. I called it Second Spark, because I believed everyone had that one ember inside them. They just needed the right moment to ignite. I borrowed money to lease a building, one sober living house. I personally interviewed every resident. We created daily meetings, employment support, community meals. Our philosophy was simple: lead with lived experience. And it worked. People got better, people stayed clean, people helped each other. Soon, we expanded. More houses, a mobile outreach van, a partnership with a local rehab facility. I pitched investors. I was terrified. But I spoke from my gut. I didn't offer stats, I offered stories, and they believed. Within 5 years, Second Spark had grown from one house to a network of recovery centers. Then came the business arm: products, counseling, training programs, mobile apps. Today, we employ over 300 staff members, many of them in recovery themselves. We've helped over 20,000 people find freedom. I live in a home now, a real one. With a garden, I have a dog. I wake up every day with purpose. Sometimes I still walk by the alley where I used to sleep, and I whisper a thank you to the cold, to the pain, and to that woman with the soup, because without them, I wouldn't be here. I speak at events now, conferences, high schools, prisons, and every time I stand at the mic, I remind people, you are not broken, you are breaking through. Recovery didn't erase my past, it redeemed it. The darkness didn't define me, it deepened my empathy. Today, my life isn't perfect, but it's real, and it's mine. And if you're out there right now, feeling like it's too late, it's not. If this story resonated with you, or reminded you of someone you love, please share this video. You never know who needs to hear this today. What's your biggest comeback story? Drop it in the comments below. Like this video if you believe that no one is beyond saving. And don't forget to subscribe to Narrated by Abi for more real stories of survival, hope, and human strength. Your story isn't over yet.